Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to touch briefly about exports, and especially because they're part of the overall trade philosophy, trade and investment deals. This particular graph is just showing you the balance of trade in terms of deficits and surplus. The bracket areas are telling you the ones where we have currently an area where we're importing more than we're actually exporting to those particular areas. The positive side are areas you see where we've actually had success, and you'll see aerospace is on there that we've done pretty well this year in terms of our exports. You've also seen here in terms of energy, forestry products as well, right? So basically, in a roundabout way, Canada is a resource-based economy, and Mulcair should know that by now, and that's fine if he chooses not to speak to that, but he's actually doing himself a disservice that anybody wants to look at this, because this typically shows you that unless he has the vision on how he wants to handle resources as part of his overall mandate, if he were to elect it, then he's got a problem. The second point with resource development, it's a provincial matter based on the Constitution. So unless he's really pushing for changes in rules in terms of things to push more regulation down, which will hinder these sectors to expand. The other point that he talks about in platitudes, he talks about things I want to see. I'll be a champion for manufacturing. Well, and to do that in the resource sector, and also do that, that's when we start getting into downstream options. So we take that bitumen that's sitting in a pipeline, we move it down pipeline to refineries or to petrochemical plants, and we use that to build end products, and we export those end products. That's not anything that Mulcair has talked about. So if you're going to expand exports and you say you don't want resources, then how are you going to develop a new manufacturing culture here in Canada when his policies are hiking corporate tax or medium to large corporation, bring in CPP hikes as well? So those iPhones and all that are also goods you bring in as part of the import costs that you're seeing here as well in the consumer goods will be driven up by those taxation policies. It's quite clear that when you deal with Thomas Mulcair, he will never talk about specific details because he's too busy pandering for votes. Anybody that wants to ask questions to him should be asking questions to the local candidate exactly how their policies are actually going to benefit your job or growth in potential for yourself to see the economy growing in your particular area. The only one that has the vision that goes by a wide range of policies is Stephen Harper. He seems to understand that you need to have a strategy for the various sectors of the economy. It's not one policy that drives the economy, it's multiple. And this is something that Thomas Mulcair doesn't understand, and it's not surprising. You got to remember, this guy's a career bureaucrat. He never spent any time in the private sector. He has no clue what it takes to basically run and operate there. Yet you can argue Harper hasn't spent time, but Harper talks to businesses. I've done more detailed analysis on economic side that you're more than welcome to look at the videos, but this video is to try to give you a clear indication that Harper does have the strategy, Mulcair does not.